Hello everyone, welcome to my class. Yesterday I started chapter 3, that is interdependence of plants and animals. This is your chapter. I started this. The best friend of on earth of man is the tree. When we use the tree respectfully and economically, we have one of the greatest resources on the earth. We are dependent on trees for almost everything. Without trees, our existence is not at all possible. Human beings, they are developed form, but still we cannot produce everything on our own. For whatever we have achieved, we are dependent on trees, plants, and animals. Without them, we cannot do anything. Whatever we produce, we need some raw material for that, and that comes from the environment. For other things also, we are dependent on plants and animals like food, shelter, wood, transportation, medicine, oxygen. We are totally dependent on plants and animals too. Now we have some abiotic elements also in the environment with biotic elements. And the same way we are dependent on living things, they are dependent on those non-living things or abiotic components of the nature. Like for heat and energy, we are dependent on sun. For oxygen, though we are dependent on trees, but that oxygen is a part of air. We take oxygen from the air, and without that, the food which we eat, our body is not going to break that, and we won't be able to get energy from the food. Same way we drink water. Without water, we cannot survive on this earth. So without these non-living things also, we won't be able to survive on this earth. So that is what we studied yesterday. Now, whatever we are taking from this earth or from the environment, we need to give it back if we want a sustainable development. Now, what is sustainable development? That is use the things or the resources, but don't misuse it or don't waste it. Save it, conserve it, protect it for our future use or for the use of future generation, that they can also use that thing. This is known as sustainable development. So we need to give that back, otherwise these resources or natural resources available in limited amount, one day they are going to finish. And in future, we won't be able to use that, right? Now, next we studied dependence of living things on other living things. Here we have animals are dependent on plants. They are dependent on plants for food. because plants are the only one or the living things that produces or that produce their own food. That food is eaten by other living creatures or the animals. And plants, they produce their own food, so they are known as autotrophs or producers. And the animals who are dependent on plants for the food, they are known as herbivores. So they are directly taking that food produced by the plants. And next we have carnivores. Carnivores are those animals which eat herbivores, and they are dependent on plants indirectly. They are not eating that food produced by the plants, but they are eating those herbivores who are dependent on the plants for the food. So they get that energy. The energy passes from the tree to the herbivores and from herbivores to carnivores. This way, they are indirectly dependent on plants. Same way, animals and birds, they are dependent on plants or trees for shelter because they live on trees. Many birds, many animals, insects, they live on trees. Trees are their home or forests are their home. It's their habitat. And with that, they get shade from the plants or the trees and protection from the rain. They get oxygen, which is very much important for all the living creatures because they breathe in oxygen, and plants, they give out oxygen. Without that, food cannot be burnt into energy. Now, next point, these are other things that we obtain from the plants: wood, rubber, latex, resins, fibers, medicines. Now we have to start this part. Plants are dependent on animals. Animals are dependent on plants. Same way, plants are also dependent on animals. That is what is known as interdependence. Just as animals depend on plants for various needs, even plants are dependent on animals for various things. So they are interdependent on each other. Now, how plants are dependent? This is the first point. Carbon dioxide. We know that plants, they breathe in carbon dioxide and gives out oxygen. Animals breathe in oxygen and release carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide is utilized by plants to make food by the process of photosynthesis. Animals, they take in oxygen, which is released by plants or trees, right? And trees or plants, they take in carbon dioxide, which is released by animals or other living creatures. And they use this carbon dioxide in the process of making food. And that complete process is known as photosynthesis. Through photosynthesis, plants, they make food using carbon dioxide, water, sunlight, and with that one green pigment, that is chlorophyll. That complete process is known as photosynthesis, and it results into food and oxygen. Okay, I hope you have understood this process of photosynthesis. Now next, nutrition. How plants are dependent on animals for nutrition. Animals' bodies after death are decomposed by decomposers, that is bacteria and fungus in soil. So when animals die, or birds or insects, what happens? These decomposers or bacteria or fungi, what they do, they decompose that dead body. And then what happens? That body get mixed into the soil. The material like nitrogen thus released are used by plants for nutrition. When that body, which is broken into very small part like the sand, that is the decomposition, it gets mixed into the body, in soil, and that soil takes the nutrients from that dead body, especially the nitrogen and other minerals also. That nitrogen or other minerals from that dead body, which is mixed in the soil, is used by, that nitrogen is used by the plants. They take in that nutrition from that soil and then they grow into a healthy plant and then they produce food using that nutrition. Okay, so how plants are dependent on animals for nutrition, this is there. I hope that is clear to all of you. Next point, seed and fruit dispersal. Animals can carry fruits from one place to another. Moreover, when they eat these fruits, they drop seeds elsewhere, helping new plants to grow. Now, in this dispersal, what happened? Animals, they carry fruits with them. Birds, they carry fruit or the pollen grains with them. And they go to other place, they eat that fruit and they throw that seed. And that seed, which was thrown by the animals, grows into a new plant. So this way, these animals help in the germination of a new plant. Okay. Next part. Now here you have a picture. Ants carry seeds from one place to another. Now next is pollination. Now what is pollination? Pollination is a process of transferring pollen from anthers to stigma of a flower. Now, anther is a part of stamen and stigma is a part of pistil. Pollen from the anther, they are taken by the birds or by wind or by water into the stigma, and there this germination takes place or reproduction of a new plant takes place. This process is brought about by water, wind, or animals and insects. So this pollination is done by the water, that is rain, wind, by the air also. They move with the movement of the air and they get mixed, or by the movement of the animals or the insects or the birds. The pollens from anthers passes to the stigma of a flower, and there that germination starts taking place. Now this side. Now picture is given there. Animals help in seed dispersal and pollination. Pollination is the first step in the reproduction of a plant. So in the reproduction of plant or germination of the plant, this pollination is the first thing. That pollen has to pass from the anther to the stigma. And then only a new plant will grow. Hence, animals play a vital role in the life cycle of a plant. This way, plants are dependent on animals. Animals are very important the life cycle of a plant or in the growth of a plant or reproduction of a plant. Now, after this, you have food chain. Now, let's see what's there. We have just seen interdependence among living and non-living things and plants and animals. All these things we have read already in this chapter, how living things, they are dependent on non-living things, and how plants and animals, they are interdependent. You have also learned about a food chain in earlier lessons. All food chains begin from plants, but where do plants get their energy from? Okay, all these food chains, the starting one are the plants only. Plants, they get energy from the sun. And that energy is passed through food to the other animal who is eating that plant or the food of that plant. Then the other animal, the third step, eating that animal gets that energy. This way, energy passes from plants to the other animals. All food chains begin from plants, but where do plants get their energy from? I explained it just now. From the sun, of course. So they get their energy from the sun. Sun is the major source of energy. A food chain, in fact, shows how one living being depends on other living being in the environment. So what is a food chain? That food chain shows that how these living things from plants to the animals, they are dependent on each other. Or from plants to the animals to the human beings, how they are dependent on each other. That is known as food chain. They are dependent on each other for food. That's why we call it a chain. So here you have one picture of food chain. One food chain is given there. First we have plant. Plant is taking energy from the sun. This plant is eaten by a grasshopper. So this energy is going into this grasshopper's body. This grasshopper is eaten by this frog. So this frog is getting energy through this food, this insect. This frog is eaten by the snake. And then that snake is eaten by a bird. So this is a food chain. This shows that these animals, they are dependent on each other for food or for energy. That's why it is known as food chain. Okay, I hope this is clear to all of you. Now you have question answers. First one, take the correct answer. You mark in your book only. First one, the term autotrophs means. Autotrophs, this word we use for Plants. So this is your answer, plants. Second, the term decomposes means. Now, decomposers are bacteria and fungi, and they decompose dead body. As a result, that body get mixed into the soil, and that nutrient from the soil is taken by the plants. Third one, the gas used up by plants during photosynthesis is, which gas plants taken? That is carbon dioxide. Now, next, the process of transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of a flower, that is known as pollination. Moving of pollen grains from one place to another or from anther to stigma, that is pollination. Next, all food chains begin from, answer is plants. Now, next question is, what is interdependence? So this definition is given here on page number 11, first column, second paragraph. You have to start from first sentence. Not only we as living are dependent on each other, we are also dependent on non-living things such as soil, air, and water. This is called interdependence, which is responsible for maintaining balance in nature. This is your answer 2. Now, third one. Give 2 examples of how living things depend on non-living things. It's here on page number 11, second column. That is under the heading dependence of living organisms on non-living things. Third line, we get heat and energy from the sun. You have to write there. You have to remove this question mark and write there from the sun. After that, come to the next para there. Apart from sun, there are other materials or non-living things needed by us, such as mineral for proper growth, oxygen from air. You have to write there from air to breathe, or water to drink. I'm adding extra thing here. In question, 2 examples are asked. You can write 2. One is the sun and one about the oxygen from air to breathe, or you can write water to drink. But I'm adding all there. Water also there, minerals there, oxygen also there. Okay. Now, fourth question. How are living things dependent on plants for health? Now, for this thing, you have to come on page number 12 under the heading dependence of living things on other living things. Here, animals are dependent on plants. Now, for the health, you have to mark 2 points here. First is food. Only green plants as living beings are capable of preparing their own food through photosynthesis using water and carbon dioxide in the presence of sunlight. After that, come to the next line. This food is not only used by plants, but also by animals. Till animals. Then third point, oxygen. The most important thing a plant provides us is oxygen. Oxygen is vital for all living beings, as without oxygen, we cannot respire, which means the food that we eat cannot be burnt to give us energy. So these 2 points you have to write in answer 4th. That is how are living things dependent on plants for health. Now, question number 5, show how plants depend on animals with the help of 2 examples. Plants depend on animals. That thing we have to write. So come to the other topic here. Plants are dependent on animals. Now for this thing, you can choose any 2. I'm choosing first and second. First, carbon dioxide. Animals breathe in oxygen and release carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide is utilized by plants to make food by the process of photosynthesis. This is first point. Come to second point, nutrition. Animals' bodies after death are decomposed by decomposers, that is bacteria and fungus in soil. The materials like nitrogen thus released are used by plants for nutrition. This is your answer 1. Now, question 6. What is a food chain? Draw a simple food chain. It's on page number 13. You have this heading, food chain. In that, come to last third line. A food chain, cut this in fact, shows how one living being depends on other living being in the environment. After this, add one thing there, which is given here. 5th line, all food chains begin from plants. After that, you have to draw a food chain, which is also given there. That picture, food chain, where you have the sun, then plant, grasshopper, frog, snake, bird. You can draw this picture there. So these are the answers of chapter 3. I hope you have understood all the answers. So that's all for today. I have completed chapter 3. Next time, we'll take another chapter. So thank you all. Goodbye, all of you.